This is the Best or Worst Podcast. And now, here are your hosts, Koji Steven Sakai and M. Martin Mapoma.
I think so. Well, it's just like the idea of this like alpha male without personality, like without feelings, is like these kids all have feelings now, right? Like for example, when we were kids, like you couldn't like hug another dude, right? Like unless you're on a sports field. But now it's okay. Like boys have feelings. Like if there was a gay dude in class, like we wanted to fight him for some reason.
I know.
But now it's like
so bad.
But now it's like okay, right? And that's I love that. But I think that it's more okay to have feelings. Like alpha male, like a traditional alpha male is like, I have no feelings. I am a man. I'm gonna fight everybody. And like I don't deal with home issues. I don't like change diapers and I come home and smoke. I can drink whiskey by myself, like that. Right? Like but I think that there's less and less like that, right? Than there was like before, right?
But still, alpha male still win.
No, of course, yeah. So I mean, I think that's always like the thing for me. So one of my pieces of bad advice that I hear from other parents, especially in this neighborhood where I live, is like we don't believe in sharing thing.
What?
Yeah, parents don't believe in sharing, and then the other thing,
sharing what?
Anything. Like the parents don't force their kids to share, which like that's a thing. And then it's kind of similar.
You heard that from people?
Yeah. And then similar is that we have like, I mean, this is not the term that they use, but like free range kids where there's like no rules and stuff.
Oh boy, that one I hate.
But the sharing thing, there's a story when me and my kid were at the park, and this kid was like my son wanted to share something or wanted to like play with him or something, and the kid wouldn't share, and my kid didn't understand that because like I scream at my kid about sharing stuff all the time, and explaining about, being a guest versus, like when you're a guest, you do what they want. When they come over, you have to do what they want, and, all these things. And I remember my kid was super confused about it because he's like, well, I'm supposed to share and this kid's not sharing. And, my conversation with him, some people don't want to share. The funny thing about that situation was that kid came back and wanted to use something with my kids. Uh-huh. And my first instinct was like, fuck you,
That's what you did, right?
Yeah.
Good.
But I made a wrong decision though. I should have forced him to share anyway, because that was actually the better thing. It's like, so one of
no, but this is exactly what you're talking about. When you said that you don't want your kid to be taken advantage of, that's what you're doing. You're not letting him get taken advantage of.
But at the same time, it's like I want him to understand. Like for example, we've had this he has friends, let's say, who come over and I force him to be a good host, which means you do what they want to do. If they want to play with something, you play with that. If they want to do whatever, you can go along. But then when he goes to their house, it's not the same.
Yeah.
And he doesn't understand that. And I'm like, one of the things it's like a tough conversation around not everyone's raised the same, you have to kind of like go with it. Because now like the rule on the other side is you're a guest. So as a guest, you do what they want to do. So it's like
you're confusing the hell out of your kid, man.
But it's like, it's part of, especially in the Japanese culture, it's being a guest is like has all these expectations. Like one of the biggest expectations for kids, I mean, it's overwhelming. But like, for example, if I go to Japan, I have to bring a suitcase of gifts. That every house I go to, I bring a gift. Everywhere I go, I have to bring a gift.
Yeah.
Like, even if it's something small, but something specifically from California, because it's like part of this, like, and then they have to give me a gift back, and it's like this fucking cycle of violence. But any other pieces of advice? Any other thoughts?
Oh, God, parenting, there's so many.
I know. We can do like 10 episodes about parenting.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, respecting, respect is a big one for me. Hard work. I keep telling him, every time he comes home from school, I'm like, how was school? Did you work hard in class? Did you do your best? I don't want him to be a slacker. And I've been guilty of that in the past. And when I haven't slacked, I've done awesome. When I have slacked, I've paid for it. And so whenever I see a tendency in him to like sort of like slack off on doing stuff, like even his homework, I make sure now that he writes everything as neatly as possible, because I want that to be ingrained in him, because I think it's going to transfer into other things that he does. I want him to be upset when he doesn't get a perfect score. And at the same time, I explain to him, you're not always going to get a perfect score, but I want you to be that kid who's working his best, is working hard to do that, because A, it's the way I think you'll succeed, and B, when you're a child of color, you have to do that extra, you have to go that extra step just to be seen as, being equal. Yeah. And I'm trying really hard not to teach him that, not to make him so aware of color.
Not to teach him hard.
No, not to. I'm not throwing race into. He's too young. I want to protect him as long as I can. Because he's gonna do it. Yes, I do, man. I mean, it hasn't worked. You know, but I don't want him to see himself as being a second-class citizen.
Well,
anytime
I don't
soon.
think you need to teach him that you're a second class, but
Not teaching that he's second class citizen. I want him to understand that because of who he is, being Hapa, he's going to have to work twice as hard just to be seen on the same level.
Well, okay. To be fair,
that's my belief.
To be fair, Hapas also have advantages. Right?
Oh no! So they have plenty of advantages. I'm just saying that. I'm just saying with my kid.
That also drives me crazy with Hapas is that it's like so Hapas could pass in ways that people like especially Asians can't pass. You know. And so a lot of times that hurts us. You know, because for every like positive stereotype about Asians, there's the flip side of Asian Americans, right? Yeah. And the problem with a lot of times with Hapa is that they could get the positive side and the negative side, but they could also get positive side other things. Yeah. You know, like for example, you know, if you're Hapa, like your son, they walk into a place, they're not seen as Asian, right? So they're gonna be given opportunities that are different. Of course, they're also gonna get shot by the police. So there's like positive and negatives, but like my son doesn't have that opportunity. So I think it's there's always I don't think Hapa or Fool or anything have like better or worse, but it's always interesting when I listen to Hapas about like their struggle, and I'm like, well, we have struggle. Everyone has a struggle, you know. It's
Hapa,
it's a challenge, right?
Like Hapa's, Asian and white. It's very different than Asian and black.
No, of course, yeah, I understand.
But it's funny because in Africa, in Zambia, where I'm from, the mixed race community is an entire community that's very much inclusive of their own. Yeah, they're called colored in Southern Africa, like in South Africa. And they're a very, very strong, very proud community. And it's funny because they tend to only mix with other colored people. Yeah. Which is here
Hapa community is super, super strong now. And Hapa was a derogatory word for a long time.
Oh yeah. Like mulatto, which I hate.
Yeah. All right. Well, we should end this podcast. Well, thank you. It was an interesting conversation. We should have another one about parenting in a little bit.
Yeah, we will. We will for sure.
So please rate, review, and subscribe.
Yes. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell everybody. This is a great doing great work here.
Follow us on social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
Yes, Spotify.
Spotify.
I'm kidding.
MySpace. All right, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Bye.